Yeah, you know what it is, man. Young Jock in the streets more than takeover, man. We standing on it all the way through and through, man. Miss Shanika and Shout, and of course your favorite cousin. This morning we got a special guest in the building. You know, it feels great when we can have hometown heroes join us to speak to our listeners nationwide. Now I got to go ahead and put it out here, man. You may know this brother. He is a what you would call a wordsmith. This brother is a philanthropist. This brother is definitely activated because he is definitely active in his activism. This brother is one of those guys. He is a father. He is a husband. He is a hell of a guy. He's a big guy. He's a black guy. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only Killer Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, we up early at it, man. I'm talking about, look here, man. We get up before everybody else, man. That's
For real?
Yeah.
I ain't did this since I worked at the AutoZone and Trap no morning.
Good God, have mercy. Well, I'm glad you made some changes in your life for the better.
Praise God.
Amen.
Praise God. First giving honor to God's head of my life. That's what my grandma used to say. I ain't know what it meant, boy, but it keeps you out of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's right. Look, you got so much going on. It's hard to congratulate you on the first. Okay, so we're going to say congratulations for Michael.
Thank you so much.
Hey,
What a wonderful, it's a masterpiece.
And you know, a
I
lot
love
of people
it.
say that, but my Shay sent me you running around playing it.
Yes, I
Top
was.
to bottom. Thank you, Shay.
Yeah.
I really
You know, I had to take it a step further. I was like, yo, every song hit. And then, well, my husband put me on to the one with Jagged Edge. Because that was like, yeah, it was like 4 songs I didn't listen to. I got in his car. He was playing the Jagged Edge. When I was like, okay.
Okay.
It's best played top to bottom. It's 53 minutes.
That's what she
So
said.
if you got a long ride, just hit play and just take the ride.
That's what she said. It's best played from top to bottom.
Oh, my God. Okay, so, yes, this is, they said at the park over the weekend.
The Park.
At the park.
Come
in
on,
Forest Park. They said an instant classic.
Yeah.
I said, yes.
I call it
is.
a generational statement, you know, because
Okay.
certain words get thrown around too much. Like, don't call me no legend. That just means you're calling me old. You know,
Yeah.
and I'm not. I'm out here competing. And actually, I've put out the best album you're going to hear this year, rap or otherwise.
Yeah.
Yes.
Statement of a black working class kid from Atlanta West Side that you ain't got to be black to identify with. If you're from a working class background or you're a working class man and the women who love them, you're going to get it. It is absolutely what Outkast did with Aquemini, what Goody Mob did with Soul Food. It is in the tradition of Dungeon Family great. You know?
Now I'm glad you said that because that was going to be a reference point that I used in the whole understanding of this compilation. And the reason I'm calling it a compilation because this kind of has been put together over some time now. This wasn't a oh, I'm hot right now. Let me jump in 3 months, go in and do 10 songs a day and put out a project. No, this is your first solo release
in 11 years.
And the reason I said I didn't want to use that reference because it's about you today.
Yeah.
And I wanted to just point out that we have a lot of greats from this enriched soil that we call ATL, Atlanta, Georgia. And those records that have been deemed as classics were works of arts that took time to put together. I mean, because I remember sitting around waiting for certain albums a while back, and you'd be like, damn, they just stopped rapping, and then you hear this album coming, and once it's delivered, they truly deliver the
Atlanta
deliverables.
set a standard, man. When you look at Jeezy, you look at Tip, you look at, you know, again, what the Dungeon Family has done, you look at what QC's done.
Yeah.
You know, you look at what WAP did in terms of mixtaping, you look at what you yourself done in terms of just putting out records that define a person's moment in history. There's a pretty high standard in Atlanta. So when I say, you know, classics are classics, I respect it. I dropped a classic 11 years ago, rap music.
Yeah.
This is a generational statement. This
That
is
is.
for all the guys that survived the trap, for all the guys that get to look back and say, man, maybe I didn't do my baby mama right. For all the guys that had to go through the valleys before they reached the peak of the mountain, just to see another mountain to climb. And for the women who love those guys, this is for us. This is for the women who love us. This is for, you know, our children to better understand us.
No, on that.
And it's jamming.
On
Top
that,
to
period.
bottom.
Yes.
Oh, Miss Shanika definitely.
Yeah.
Man, you need to
I didn't even know he was coming on the show when I made the video because, yeah, he did me a solid. Him and his beautiful wife, Shay. Shay got him to come up to the old radio station that I worked for. He was like, you know, I don't be fooling with everybody. I'm just like, I'm up here for you because my wife said it. So I'm really happy that he is doing his rounds and doing radio and promoting this instant classic.
Yeah. And for what people don't know you talking about, that's what started the black banking movement. In terms, not didn't start the movement, but me calling black people to pull our money out. That was your show.
Exactly.
And thank you for calling me up.
And he did like a Zoom with TMZ that day, but it was the whole black banking movement. And that video got so many views on
that was prior to
YouTube.
the speech that happened 3 years ago. And you and Shay had the foresight to put me in front of a micro. I was so mad. I was so angry. I didn't want to talk to nobody, do nothing. So, listen to black women. They know what they be talking about.
And they said I was gender biased earlier.
And well, I mean, women got to follow the lead of their man too. Now, in the household, we're gonna keep it real. But I've taken counsel, like on the record Muslims. So I talk about my mom, my grandma. I've been counseled by a lot of good black women. So.
Yes,
that's what's happening. Now, I want to ask you this because you talking about your own solo album in 11 years. That doesn't mean you haven't released music in 11 years.
The last decade.
I know it.
I know. I became a millionaire and everything.
And that's what I wanted to say because in that whole situation, that was I guess I could say a collaborative effort.
Yeah, me and LP from Brooklyn.
With your mans. And you did. You kind of just
are doing. Yeah.
No, I'm saying when the whole moment you started doing that, a lot of people didn't know exactly what was going on, but it's amazing because once you see it work, then people want to come out and salute you.
And I ain't mad at it.
You can't, because it's like, well, what's going on? Because this Killer Mike, we ain't talking about just anybody from up the way. We talking about a guy who's definitely set the standard. And so what I want to know off of that, what has it been like putting together this project? Because you're a very confident guy.
Yeah.
At least that's what you give off.
Yeah.
So were there any moments where you had those gray days, those dark days?
At about $250,000 when Shay was like, why are we missing $250,000 in our account? I was like, well, I got this dream. And I've been working this album. Right. So at about $500,000, and this is not cap. This is what I really, you know what I mean? She's like, Negro, if you went crazy, and I'm like, God told me to build a boat. I got a joke I tell people. I say, can you imagine what Noah? God said, hey, man, and Noah's probably drinking some wine, kicking it. He said, hey, I want you to build a boat.
Yeah.
And why? What? Don't worry about it. Just build a boat. And can you imagine Noah going home telling his wife, hey, so God told me to build a boat. And, and I think that's what happened. When COVID sat everybody down, Run the Jewels was about to go on a huge tour. We ended up going on tour, Rage Against the Machine, did very well. But we had to pause. And essentially, COVID sat everybody out for 2.5 years. Me and Cuz Lightyear got in the room together, started working. Shout out to No Face, No Case, the label. Started in that studio, went to Stankonia. After about a year, I spent $250,000. I was too far in to come out then.
Yeah.
And I went out to L.A. with no ID and said, I got this dream of this album, Michael. I'm compelled to do these records, to speak on the behalf of the black working class from the west side of Atlanta, to speak on behalf of the working class American man, no matter what, and the women who love us and invest in us. Yeah. And at about $500,000, my wife was just like, Negro, I'm going to kill you. And I was like, okay, I better go ahead and finish.
Now you got to.
And, I partnered with Loma Vista, the same guy, Tom, who discovered Tupac. And he was just moved, my man, Dart Parker. What's Tom's last name? Wally. He's a legend. I didn't want to mispronounce it, but Tom and Ryan, his son who runs it over there, Dart Parker, who came from Shady, who's A&R over there. Just a good team. It feels like what early LaFace feel like.
Okay.
Right.
Like we believe in our artists and artists we're partnering with, and we're gonna push this through. So I'm very appreciative of Loma Vista. I'm appreciative for Atlanta for championing it like this, and Michael done messed around and done good.
He sure did. He did very great. Now, you have captured a lot of hot artists for this Michael album. Now, we got to talk about Andre 3000. I
got an announcement to make.
Okay.
All that y'all read yesterday about him having so I was cap. I was just super count. Sorry, but now I did hear, but because he's always working on music. Like the way the collaboration happened, I went out to LA to let him hear. I care about what he and Big Boy think about my music.
Right.
Okay.
And my first A&R, Regina Davenport of Clemini. So I said, I want to come out and just play it for you. So I'm out there working with No ID, who executive produced the album. I let Dre hear it, and he say, you think I can come at tomorrow and play some songs for you? I'm like, yeah.
Hell yeah.
He came back and played like 10 amazing things. He said, well, just pick a couple. Out of the couple I picked, one of them was scientists and engineers. The other one he took back. He said, I'm going to keep this one. Then he ended up doing another one. So we got another one in the closet that's like 11 minutes long, just me and him. But this one, man, he got on. We perfected the record, got Future on it, got Aaron Allen Kane on it. I came in with one of the most verses I never did. And man, we got We got hot. We got hot. You know.
Because, I'm going to keep it 100. The minute I saw that, it was like breaking news. I can't remember who posted it.
Yeah.
And I saw your name. So when I saw your name, I know you had just recently picked up an award, and we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
So, but when I saw that, I was like, okay, wait, why is Andre name? I said 3,000. I was like, well, what's going on?
Yeah.
Then when, we was waiting for this snippet,
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it 100. Man, it was like a reset button for me. It was like you hit the default switch for me.
Yeah.
It actually made me believe in the type of music that we once really dropped out of this place we call Atlanta.
Well, I brought back the album.
Yeah.
I brought back the Outkast first album. There was no single. Like Players Ball was a single off the Christmas album.
Yeah.
But the Outkast album is what we played.
Yes.
Yeah.
Goody Mob, Soul Food, the album is what we so
raised me.
I have no shame in
Raised me.
saying this. I've single-handedly brought back the album. You put Michael in,
No,
you
you
hit
have.
play, you're not gonna stop for 53 minutes. You might pause and run and go pee and come back. But it is
unless you got your AirPods in.
or you're wearing your diapers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shouts out to Sadie Mae old folk. Man. I love my folks out there, man.
Honestly, when I heard scientists and engineers, it felt like home. Like the whole, it felt like home. Like, God, I've been suffering through all of this, all these new trends and what's going on now in the culture. And I was like, finally.
But with that said, ain't no judgment of the new trends. To me, this is an album and it co-stars Atlanta. Rico is like the voice of Atlanta. Rico Wade, the Dungeon Family, Star Dungeon Family, is like a voice you hear. Thug is on the record, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out in solidarity with Slime. I don't want you to be, convicted for words you say. I'm pro First Amendment, so just thoughts and love to him. We had Jagged Edge pop up on the record Slumber. We got a lot of people. We got Currency and 2 Chainz pop up on Spaceship Views. But I'm not chasing no trend or chasing nobody.
Right.
Everybody on here is a friend or an associate, an ally of some type. I asked Ty Dolla to get on one record. He sent me 2 back. You know what I'm saying? Because he said, and we went to church. I'm going to tell people, I was raised in the church.
Yeah.
I got away from the church and ran from God for a long time. But my grandmother told me, you're not going to be able to run from God forever.
No.
And the sound of this record is gospel and soul, and it's going to move your spirit. If you don't feel nothing at the end of this, you're already dead. So you're in hell,
I'm so happy for you because and just like you said, this ain't the shadow current trends about music, but I'm gonna keep it real, man. A lot of the values I feel like have been lost in the music that we spewed from Atlanta because I was raised on y'all. I was raised on the sound of Organized Noise, the Outkast, the Killer Mikes, the Goody Mobs, for real.
But it take all types for Atlanta. To me, man, it is what we've done with, Can't Stop No Player, the Straight from the Deck. It's going down. All of this matters. It's just time and place. And sometimes skewed. If you party all the time, you're going to be broke most of the time.
Yeah.
If you take some time to budget your time, you end up having a plethora and more time. So this record, you get it all. You get the real, the ratchet, the Santa, the sinner, the saint. You get all of Michael, which is why I called it Michael.
What's your favorite? Your
No,
favorite
there's
record?
no favorite. I put it in. I hit play.
No. What's your favorite record? Even
I ain't gonna
if it's
lie
an
to you. What's my
experience,
mood?
even if it's an experience when you was creating a record and something about that record triggered something in you.
Motherless is I had never said my mother. That's you're a great interviewer too. That's I had never said the words "my mama's dead" until I got in the booth and I said, my mama's dead and my grandmama's dead, and it just tears me up to say it now. And I can honestly say I appreciate No ID for being the executive producer, because I was done with the album and had to me in my mind a perfect album minus that song. Every other song was on there. And he says, what are you really afraid of? We need to push deeper. And I'm like, man, we done. I done spent $500,000 and you ain't cheap. You know what I mean? Your beats, you get a deal because executive producer, but your beats still ain't cheap. And he's like, hey man, what you afraid of? That's how I know he hit you like he a FOI sergeant.
Yeah.
And I say I already faced my fears. My mama gone, my grandmama gone, and they dead. He said, well, that's what you gonna rap about. And I had to get in that booth. He put on the beat with the Motherless Child sampling Friday. I was like, oh no, I don't like it. I don't like it. Ghostface already used it. And he redid the beat right there. And Erin Allen Kane, her voice is just beautiful. She's all through the album too. But I went in the booth and I looked at the microphone. I said, my mama's dead. And my grandmother's dead. And man, it's still something to say it. So, you got to face your fears and you got to know the Lord with you. And, thank my mother, who's in the ancestral realm, for coming to my baby mother. She came to Muffy and said, tell him it's okay. And he know what to do. Because I won't stop before I cry all the way.
No, because let me tell you why. This is why I asked that, because it's important that we share these jewels like this, because right now, I was on Love and Hip Hop and I said that, what was going on with my mom.
Yeah.
And she was able to go and ring the bell for lung cancer.
God is good.
And then her birthday is April the 27th.
Yeah.
And on the 26th, they delivered the news that this disease had traveled to her brain.
Man.
And within, what did you say, Shanika, a month's time, my mom's health has declined so much that, we're doing in-home hospice right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a hell of a journey for me to wake up every day.
Yeah.
Not knowing if, she lives with me, not knowing if I'm gonna walk in the room and she's gonna even still be breathing.
Absolutely.
So, I when I heard this whole this part of the record, your album, The Motherless, it resonated with me.
Yeah.
Cause I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
And only God could say when that time will come.
Absolutely.
But I'm looking at kind of any moment.
Yeah, and pray, man. Just man, it's such a good thing that she's at your home. My guy Bear Locust in here, and his mother got to transition in his home. Black people, that's such a blessing. And I was on a plane. I said on the Run the Jewels track, I said when my mother transitioned to another plane, I was sitting on the plane, telling her to hold on and she stay strong. She tried hard, but she just couldn't hang. It's such a blessing for them while they in this realm to see you and to talk to you. And so for people who may have issues with their mothers, call your mama. They didn't know no better. Yeah. They was just young. For people who have issues with your daddy, find your daddy.
Yeah.
Because he maybe tried to find you, and they was young. So I just, my thoughts and prayers gonna be with you, that y'all enjoy every day. And if you want more time with your parents, turn your phone off, turn the TV down, and just talk.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you 1 minute will feel like an hour. So, man, I don't look forward to you joining this club. But if and when it happens, just know I'm here in the club, and me and Bear, and we can all cry together. And Bear gonna talk about cycling.
Yeah.
And